Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Today's topic of my video is what language to use for spells and other magical texts and how to do it. You want to get the most benefit from them, right? In the old days, this issue didn't arise. Magicians and advanced sorcerers read such texts in Latin. They truly knew Latin. Ordinary folk sorcerers read spells in their native language or in various ancient patois. We are in the age of globalization now. Information spreads far beyond individual countries, cities, and rural areas. You can access magical texts in any language. But English has become the international lingua franca. Most information is now available and distributed in English. English is still the language used for the most accurate translations. Now some magical practitioners even translate Latin texts into English. Not everyone speaks English well enough to speak and understand even YouTube videos. Incidentally, my spoken English is very poor. I simply translate my texts from my native language and voice them over with a program. Lack of speaking practice, unfortunately. I strive to convey the meaning and emotional content of my phrases and texts as accurately as possible. And I do this as faithfully as possible to the original text. The original text is the phrase I spoke in my native language. The significance of spells must be preserved when translated. And these are linguistic, mental, and, most importantly, emotional meanings. When you speak, you must invest all the maximum internal energy you can into your speech. And a person's internal energy comes from their emotions. Emotions are the experiences you get from understanding the meaning of the words and phrases you speak. If you don't understand what you're saying, then emotions won't arise. In this event, you won't be able to invest enough energy into your speech for spells, incantations, and other magical phrases to work. If English is your native language, then there are no problems. If English isn't your native language, but you know it well and have a good vocabulary, you won't have any difficulties either. But in both cases, there's a way to enhance your efforts. I'll discuss this a little later. If you understand the meaning of words and phrases in English, then pronounce the texts in English as is. But what if you don't know English or know it poorly? What if you don't understand the meaning of the text? But this text could help solve the problem, ease the situation, or punish the offender. This happens when the text is not in your native language. How can you infuse enough emotion into a spell? I know how difficult it is from experience. Translate the text into your native language. It's easy to do now. And recite the magical texts in that language. I post the texts from the videos on my Telegram channel. Now let's look at what besides emotions triggers magical texts. It's a mental connection to other people. It's a connection with those who use the same spells, incantations, and prayers. Besides the emotions invested in a spell, the mental state of the person casting it is also important. When I say spell, I mean spells, incantations, requests, prayers, and appeals to deities and other mystical beings. From these many mental messages, a common mental state is formed among the people who are making the same request with you. A unified mental state will strengthen your spells, incantations, and requests. What is the mental connection between people? It's when we can hear, feel, and sometimes even see others thousands and thousands of miles away. This connection makes our requests very effective. The place where we cast a spell doesn't matter, nor does the time. The mental connection is not subject to the passage of time or space. How can we create this mental connection between us when we cast our spells? There solves this problem. It will also help resolve the inconsistencies and discrepancies in our pronunciations and translations of texts into other languages. Here's how to do it. My Telegram channel has the transcripts of the videos I post here. Print out the sheet with the text of my video in English so that the spell or any other invocation is roughly centered on the sheet. Like this. If the text gets cut off above or below, nothing bad will happen. Then, place your palm on the sheet and recite the spell. Recite it in whichever language evokes the most emotion for you. This is usually your native language if you don't understand English well. You can simply print the text of the spell itself in English in the center of the sheet. Or even write the text with a pen or pencil without making any mistakes. Recite the spell in the same way, placing your palm on the sheet. If you're performing a ritual and need to use both hands, first recite the phrase with your hand on the sheet. Then, roll the sheet of paper into a tube and place it in your pocket or close to your body. Perform the ritual calmly in your native language. Your words will align with the direction of your thoughts and emotions, and everything will work out for you, just as you wish. Here's a brief life hack for casting spells and other magical texts. Thank you for your attention. Post your questions in the comments. I wish everyone well-being and good luck.